So let's talk about Ananias. He was in the Bible reading today, right? He made it possible for Christianity to continue, to thrive, and to grow. Without Ananias, who knows what might have happened? And it happened because he went and prayed with a really bad guy. Ananias had been one who followed Jesus when he was here on earth, and he was continuing to be a disciple after the resurrection. According to tradition in the Orthodox Church, he had been one of the 70 apostles sent out in pairs in missions to the surrounding areas when Jesus sent them out. When they returned from their trip, they were filled with joy and said, "Lord, in your name even did demons submit to us." I know it may not be possible to really say who the 70 were, but the idea that Ananias had been with Jesus since before the crucifixion and resurrection makes sense in the context of today's reading. So Ananias was living in Damascus, and he had a vision from God. God instructed him to go find Saul of Tarsus and to pray with him so that he would regain his sight. And you can imagine Ananias saying, "Are you kidding, God? That is one bad man. That is one powerful and bad man." And then the voice says, "I'm going to use him to tell others about me." And then Ananias, probably still a little bit skeptical, all right. Ananias got another chance to listen. Ananias gave Saul another chance. And I wonder why we don't hear more about Ananias. He is so pivotal. But let's back up a little bit now to the part of the story that you're more familiar with. Saul of Tarsus was on a mission. He was out to stop anyone that belonged to the Way. That's an early name for Christianity. He was out to stop any from the Way from preaching about a Messiah who could not possibly be real. There had been too many claims, and none of the supposed messiahs turned out to be real. Well, another name for you. We've got Saul, we've got Ananias, now we've got Gamaliel. Gamaliel was a Pharisee. He was a rabbi and was well respected by all the people. And when the council was considering how to stamp out this new group of Jesus followers, the Way, he said that they should be cautious. The council were considering putting Peter and the apostles to death, and Gamaliel argued that if what Peter and the apostles were teaching wasn't true, it wouldn't last. But if what they were teaching was true, there is no way that they could stop it. And Saul was a student of Rabbi Gamaliel, but he wasn't so cautious. Saul was on a mission to destroy the Way. He didn't want people to be confused and misled by false teaching. Think about truth and lasting power in society today. It seems as though untruths, truth told over and over again by an increasing amount of people, not truth, but untruth told over and over again, becomes the thing that goes both unchecked and is unstoppable. And we ask ourselves, can true truth, can truth ultimately win? Anyway, I digress. So Saul, the driven student of Rabbi Gamaliel, had an encounter on the road to Damascus. On his way to Syria, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground and heard this voice saying, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" He asked, "Who are you, Lord?" And the reply came, "I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting. But get up and enter the city, and you will be told what you are to do." And the men who were traveling with him stood speechless because they heard the voice, but they didn't see anyone. Saul got up from the ground, and though his eyes were open, he could see nothing. So they led him by the hand and brought him into Damascus. And for 3 days he was without sight, and he didn't eat or drink. So Saul, who is more commonly known to us in Christianity as Paul, and Saul is his Hebrew name, and Paul is his Greek name. It isn't that one is his bad name and one is his good name. They're both his name. But when he spoke to Greek audiences, he was Paul. Paul used Paul. Also, there's a little aside. Within that, Saul is his name, Paul is his name, they're both his name. One isn't a dead name while the other one is the new name. Both of them still are accurate. If anyone ever tells you what their name is, though, or what their pronouns are, use that name. Use those pronouns. To do otherwise is really just rude and harmful. There, off my soapbox. Anyway, Paul met Jesus on the road to Damascus, and now he was blind and probably very hungry. And Ananias found Paul, prayed, saw things like scales fall off of his eyes, Paul's eyes, not Ananias' eyes, and then Ananias baptized Paul. The Bible doesn't say it was Ananias who did the baptism, but it would make sense that he did. Got him some food, and then he helped Paul begin a ministry for Jesus instead of against Jesus. See, both Ananias and Paul were dedicated. Both Ananias and Paul were committed to God. Both Ananias and Paul had an experience that unexpectedly changed the path that they were on and led them to something that seemed wrong, but they got another chance to do it right. Have you ever had a sense that God was calling you, me, to do something or leading you in a certain direction, and all you could really think of in that regard was, are you kidding? I can't invite that person to church. I can't serve on that committee. I can't do things differently than the way I've always known it. I can't have a conversation with that person. They're completely unreasonable. But that would make me have to question all the times I've done it this way and knew that it was right. One that happened this week, true story. But what if I sent the vacation text that was meant to be sent to family to the church committee text group, and now the whole committee says that they're coming to Cancun this week? I don't think there's enough room there. True story, really happened. Ask anyone on the foundation committee for more details. And then maybe you can join the foundation committee. That's for someone older. No, that's for someone younger. But wait, that's not fair. I didn't have a blinding encounter with Jesus. I didn't have a vision where God told me to do something. How am I supposed to know what to do when I get these unexpected ideas about something to do, and I don't know if it's God who is leading me or not God who is leading me? All good excuses not to take action. But here's one that's an excuse to take action. Follow your instincts to do good. Follow your instincts to treat people with respect and dignity. Follow your instincts to choose love over hate or indifference. Follow your instincts to treat everyone the way you would like to be treated. And what happens if you fail? You get to try again. Fail again, try again. Fail miserably, try again. Follow your instincts to do good. Follow your instincts to treat people with respect and dignity. Follow your instincts to choose love over hate or indifference. Follow your instincts to treat everyone the way you would like to be treated with all you meet, every encounter. Move forward as people of compassion, as people of love, as people of community, hope, justice, equality, and reconciliation. Try again when you fail. Try again when you fail again. And try yet again when you fail again. What's the how many digits of pi are there? 3.14. How long does it go? It doesn't stop. Try again that many times. Live out love every day. Live forward. Amen.